right, I think I am live. Hold on, let me see if I'm live. Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the live stream. Make sure you like the stream as you come in. I'm going to play these instrumentals, of course. Got a very good topic, man. We're going to really get into it. All right? Okay. Alrighty. Because there's a lot that I need to say. I'm going to try to keep my composure during this live stream. But if I have to end up putting this on my website instead of keeping it up, you'll know why.
I support Ice Cube and Tory Lanez. I am sick of Amanda Seales, Angela Yee, Mark Lamont, and Meg the Stallion. Feminism and simps must lose this election.
Appreciate that, Shy. I'm going to try to, keep my composure. I had to combine 3 topics in this live stream because instead of me just doing individual videos, I may clip all of them. But I felt like it all ties into what we are going through at this very moment. But shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure you've liked the stream as you come in. All right. Salute to the moderators and the members. Everybody who supports me, who donates to me, who appreciates the work that I put in. And I also want to say this too. I want to make this extremely clear to everybody. Okay. Do not tell me about things that are going on while I'm live. If you need for me to see something, you can send it to me via my email. You can send it to me through Instagram or tag me on Twitter. I really do not like when people come to my streams and they want to put stuff in the chat that has nothing to do with what I'm speaking about. I don't care what it is. Okay? Because what's going to happen is my moderators are going to end up blocking you out of the chat. Not putting you in timeout, but blocking you out of the chat room. Because it is annoying when you have a whole email. You have, some of you may follow me on Instagram, Twitter. You can just send me the stuff there. Don't wait till I'm live to send me shit. Okay? So I hope that is clear with y'all. Because you will get blocked. I'm not having no more of it. There are ways of getting me stuff. Telling me stuff while I'm live ain't the one. That ain't it. That's not it. That's not it. It's annoying. Okay? I just want to make that clear. But other than that, shout out to everybody. Let's see who's here. B Friends, Vern85, Aaron, Nanya, Damon, Amani, The Laughter, True. Hold up. See, Miles, Modern World, Black Republican, John Mark, David Renee, M Weezy, K Nicole, Rastafar, Nebula TV. See Trevon, Isaac, Tierra, Young J, Gmail, Kurt Black, Map, 2004, Jerice, Anthony, Daisy, Shantia, Gerald, Osman. Bro, it ain't time to call in. It ain't time to call in yet. Stop asking me. And G4, Geek 4, excuse me. Geek 4, Capital Shaw, George, I Am Knowledge, I'm him. Insomatic, Bama 91, Basic Queen, DM3, Delisha, J 24 Hours, Okay, Nicole. Ricky E245. Make sure y'all like the stream. It's a deal. You know, I put up a tweet before I went live and I talked about how, you know, mental illness should be a very important issue because you're starting to see people show their mental illness. And nothing is more apparent of that mental illness is what's going on with melanated people, particularly black women and their male counterparts like your Jamel Hills, who are getting on social media attacking black men but then want to talk about white supremacy. There's no bigger hypocrite on God's green earth than the Jamel Hill, these black liberal elites who make millions of dollars to point the finger at everybody else but themselves. There's a lot of mentally ill people out here, and they're showing their mental illness. This election is showcasing the mental illness that is going on in the black community. It is showing that black women are losing their grip on the power that they thought they had, right? You see, they're used to people going to them. They're used to decisions being made through them. They're used to throwing their votes at the DNC. They're not used to black men standing up for themselves. They're not used to Ice Cube or Tory Lanez standing up for themselves. So it's driving women like Jamel Hill insane. We're going to get into Ice Cube's interview with the Fox Soul Slurs and how they attacked him because he wasn't doing something specifically for black women. But these same black women want to talk about how Caucasian people are the number one enemy of black people. Oh yeah, and I may just have to send it to you, and I may have to send it to you through DM. Or just click the notification bell on Twitter, and it was good time. You see these mentally ill black feminists on social media attacking black men every chance they get, but then they want to talk about white supremacy. Do y'all find that to be oddly strange? Because these people are strange. And they are showcasing their mental illness because they were hurt. They want to hurt other people, but they're only hurting themselves. You have melanated women on this platform who act like they don't like us, who talk about how we're dusty and how we're less than, but they get in their feelings when they see other groups of women showcasing their love for us. Ain't that a bitch? The mental illness is starting to show. See, we used to be able to hide it. We can't, you see, the mental illness can't be hid anymore. Donald Trump's election alone has exposed the mental illness that's rampant in this country. Not only with black people, white people as well, especially these white feminists. I mean, they are literally losing their minds. I seen one white feminist, she was just going crazy, screaming. The election of one man has exposed so much in the last 3 years. It was absolutely sickening how I'm seeing those Fox Soul Slurs talking to Ice Cube. But what else do you expect from these women who thought they had power but realized they didn't?
It's always easy for women to blame men for everything, but in reality they need to hold themselves accountable for their actions.
Thanks, Ricky. Absolutely, but they won't do that. They want to blame everybody else for where they are. The election of one man has exposed a lot of these women as mentally ill. They're insane. How are you pro-black, but you attack black men every chance you get? You say that heterosexual black men are the new, white men? These people are insane. And the fact that a man married Jamel Hill just shows that he did it because he wanted to be taken care of. Because y'all know these women love them a weak beta male. They love them a weak, effeminate beta male who likes to be taken care of like a woman. Well, we're going to get into it, man. Okay, hold on. Let me go. I'm about to go on Twitter. Where is it? Salute to everybody that's here, man. Make sure that y'all like the stream, man. Like the stream. All right, make sure y'all do that. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get notifications when I go live. You can actually click a notification bell on Twitter, and you can get my tweets whenever I go live or when I post a new video. But let's get to Jemele Hill. Speaking of mental illness, let's talk about this. You cannot negotiate with terrorists. This is what a woman who's married to a melanated man says. This shows you that who's running that relationship. This is what she actually posted on Twitter. And she claims to be for her people. What people is that? Is that for the black female community?
They're liberal black, not pro-black.
Shout out to Isomatic. Well, they claim that, so I'm going off what they claim. They may not be that, but that's what they claim to be. They claim to be that.
Salute JDB. Keep spitting that real spill, Jack.
Thank you, Sir Ism. Appreciate that. Y'all see what this heifer put on here. I have increasingly found that many black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it. As you can see, she got some responses. I found these responses very interesting because Damian Woody works at ESPN, but he found the time to speak the truth.
Jay got me saying, preach reverend like I am in church.
Thanks, G-Mill, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. Yeah, I'm going to definitely do some preaching and some teaching because we need to highlight what's been going on. You know, this is the thing that I have been fighting against for the last 5 years. Women like this. I have not been going at the melanated female collective just cause they're women. No, it's because this is who you have amongst your ranks. These are the people who claim that they're speaking for you because for some reason melanated women think they're in their own community. That's that mental illness, okay? And then they claim they want protection. How can you want protection, but then you want to push out the men that can actually protect you? That doesn't make any sense. That's why I tell y'all it's a mental illness running rampant. Reza Islam. Some of you may know who he is. You don't have conversations with black men. You are around Caucasian men in black skin. Feel free to reach out to real black men and have a conversation when you finish bashing us and doing the Caucasian man's job of perpetuating division amongst melanated men and women for him. I can't say he's wrong.
Ain't nothing wrong with a woman having her own money, but men don't need to be taken care of.
Absolutely, Capital. Absolutely, Capital. Thanks, man. But see, Jemele Hill is used to being with men that she takes care of.
Becky Ling and Maria is making them look weak AF. I remember 2 videos of one Hispanic and another Japanese women destroying the girl power movement.
Absolutely. Thanks, Gerald, for the Cash App. I appreciate that, man. She responded by saying, I don't have conversations with real black men. Dude, stop it. Rather than get so defensive, why don't you have conversations with real black women to get some perspective? Really?
Do you watch Everyday Struggle? Nadeska's nauseated face.
Nah, I don't watch that show. I watched it when Joe Budden was there. After that, nah. You see how she got defensive? See, this is a guy, again, who's known in a lot of melanated circles. And look how she going up to my, he's getting defensive. Look at what you're saying. Let me just school you on something, Jemele Hill. By smashing patriarchy, you're smashing your protection. You cannot have a matriarchy and look for men to protect you. I'm sorry. Stop asking for protection and then saying that you want to destroy that which can protect you. These people are insane, man.
Thank you for taking the gynocracy to task. I've already left the dysfunction of the Black Committee.
Thanks, Steve, on the East Coast. Bishop Talbot Swan. He's a never Trumper. Constantly see him in Trump's mentions whenever I do see a tweet here and there. He says, "Here we go with the black men just want to be white men foolery." And she responded, "Bishop, with all due respect, believe me when I say this is coming from a place of lived experience. All certainly not, but many is accurate." See, she's talking about her own pain. See, what y'all got to understand is a lot of these women like Jemele Hill, they've gone through something in regards to melanated men, and they want to take it out on all of us. Instead of them dealing with the things that they have dealt with, they want to take out their frustrations on all of us because they have a blue check mark, because they have a platform. Instead of them dealing with their past trauma, they instead get on Twitter and they expose their own mental illness. And even the people that follow her, the people who may agree with a lot of things that she says, that may have supported her, they're now flipping on her because they're seeing how crazy she really is. Damien Woody says, "Many black men, that's news to me." He says, "Let's just say some conversations I've had recently are disturbing." Yes, I've had a few recent conversations and extrapolated that too many. I've been dealing with this in different forms for years. The one conversation we don't have in our community is about misogyny. Here we go. I'm telling you, man, they want a whole feminist takeover of the melanated community. They don't think they've garnered that yet. Because in regards, let's look at hip hop, right? Primarily the male rappers are still making a lot of money. They're still the most famous. People stream their music the most. There's envy there. Look at sports. Sports like football, predominantly melanated men are in football. You got women that are jealous of that, especially black women, that we are able to get rich and famous. Like you got people getting upset because LeBron James makes way more money than the best WNBA player. There's jealousy and envy there. And I'm telling you right now, these women don't like us. Okay, these women despise us. They despise us as men. And a lot of you guys who agree with Jemele Hill, who defended her, because I've seen y'all defend her in my comment sections before when I made videos about her. Y'all defend her like she's the truth, like she's speaking truth to power, but she doesn't like you either, dude. This is absolutely sickening. See, Judge Joe Brown, he says that makes no sense. Why would any self-respecting man want to continue with this poison of emasculation and even consider such a proposition as dismantling patriarchy? Because it doesn't make any sense, Judge Joe. A lot of these chicks don't make any sense. They're mentally ill. They're dealing with issues from their past that they have never gotten over. And because they've never gotten over the issues from their past, they want to bring it to their present. And that is what we're dealing with today. Okay, let me show y'all this tweet here. I actually retweeted this last night. Look at this. This is from 2016. She says, "Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, I hate melanated men." I'm telling y'all, the mental illness is rampant out here. What I told y'all, the mental illness is rampant, man. Is rampant. These women have issues from their past and they're bringing it to their present because they don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to deal with their past trauma.
Jemele Hill is upset because she has sat around all these rich athletes for years and none of them has ever picked her. Ever.
Thanks, D. White. They didn't want her because, one, they never found her to be attractive enough, and two, because she displays probably an attitude of thirst. and desperation. And it has manifested into her being out now of ESPN and not around those guys. She doesn't have access to those guys anymore. So now she's in full on hate mode. Full on hate mode, you know. Read this. Meanwhile, the group who benefits the most from affirmative action also benefits greatly from patriarchy, and it ain't black men. It does change the fact that most black supporters of Trump are men. They definitely want better access to something, but that also doesn't change how much often Caucasian people, white, male or female, have benefited from both supremacy and patriarchy. These women want power, man. These women want power by any means. And if they have to throw us under the bus to get it, they're gonna do it. These women are crazy, man. If I'm telling you right now, if any of you dudes date women like this, then you are obviously the female in the relationship, because these women don't respect masculinity whatsoever.
I've been telling you all since way back that I am voting for Donald from Manhattan.
Thanks, bad hombre. It's crazy, man. Look at what these people are. These people are nuts, man. They are out for themselves. And that's what you're seeing. They're out for themselves. And there are males who actually agree with this. This is why you can't trust a male feminist as far as you could throw them. That's why a lot of these male feminists get caught up being the real misogynists, being the real harassers. Those be the male feminists. Because they're so thirsty, they're desperate enough to pretend like they agree with women, that they're on the same wavelength as women, but they're actually trying to use their position in order to get access to women. And they got this stupid ass blame black. They said it was out of satire, and it could be, but I want y'all to understand that through satire, there is truth. They do blame black men for everything. Jemele Hill is an openly flaming feminist who hates black men because of the shit that she's been through in her life. That has nothing to do with black men. You went through what you went through because of your situation. You can't blame us for what happened with you. That's your life. You need to deal with that trauma. You need to deal with your issues. You cannot blame everybody for what you went through. What you went through has nothing to do with us. And women like her are exposing why a lot of black men don't want nothing to do with them. We can sense mental illness a mile away. That's why we smash them and dash them. That's why we don't marry them, because we know that long term we don't want to deal with this person. This person is compromised. This person is messed up. We don't want nothing to do with them. And they want to blame us for what they went through. You can't blame all black men for. That's just like black men blaming all women for what they've been through. Y'all claim we do that shit all the time, but y'all the main ones doing it. Shit is crazy. We are in crazy times, people. But this is what happens when men accept their masculinity and they don't bow down to women. No real man bows down to women. They never will. I don't care how much you shame, how much you try to run to social media to look for allies. No man, no real self-respecting man is going to want to deal with these crazy heifers.
Her own mother doesn't agree with her. Black women need to stand by black men. They are the only ones who can protect us. Not all black women agree with her.
Thank you, Synchronicity Lifestyle.
Block people are like my jets, dysfunctional AF.
Thanks, Oliva. Like the stream, people. Jemele Hill, it's clear to me you're with a man who accepts his role as the woman in that relationship. Unless you're just pretending to be this in order to make money and to have some sort of power publicly, ain't no real man is gonna deal with a woman who thinks like this unless he's being taken care of and he don't really care. Yeah, I did, Delisha. That's why these chicks are getting smashed and dashed. These guys are not staying very long because they already know what they're dealing with. Women like Jemele Hill only get wifed up if they are the husband in a relationship. That's the only. They have to wife the dude up. Okay, women like Jemele Hill have to wife up the dudes that they're with. Ain't no man gonna wife them up. They buying the engagement ring. They're paying all the bills. That's where that hatred coming from. The fact that she has to pay a dude to be with her.
I guess it's not black baby daddies breaking up black homes no more.
Thanks, Faith Music Stokes. They want to blame us for the situations they've been in. That's crazy to me. We to blame for why you can't keep a man. We're to blame because of the trauma you dealt with. I ain't to blame for that. And none of these other guys who you've never met are to blame for that either. You need to deal with your own trauma. You need to get therapy. Mental illness is running too rampant in the black community. These people need help. They're psychologically broken and they need somebody to blame for it.
I really see that the black wealth will be zero by 2035. You see people true colors, #KAG.
Thanks, Tan. Well, the net worth of women like Jemele Hill is very low. So they definitely not going to save. They definitely not going to save. Definitely not going to save. And to you males that are sitting up here agreeing with Jemele Hill, you're just as bad as she is. You don't understand that she's talking about you too. She's not just talking about us. She's talking about you dudes too. Y'all can sit up there and try to act like, oh, she ain't talking about us. We're different. We're male allies. No, you're just a clown, bro. You're just a clown. Let's get to this Ice Cube situation, man. Let's get to this. I don't want to play the video because I don't want to get into copyright issues. But I may try to play a little bit of the audio just so y'all get the gist of what's going on. Don't want to have any issues, but we're going to get to Ice Cube. All right. Ice Cube has been handing out fades to everybody that wants it. He's going on every show. And I think that Cube's strategy is actually working. I think Ice Cube's strategy is working. Because if you look at the comment section of this video, there are men and women calling these women out for their horrible treatment of Ice Cube during this interview. But what more do you expect? What more do you expect from these heifers who sit up here and blame everybody else for why their relationships don't work? Yeah, I'm going to play the audio, Ricky. So I'm going to play a little bit of this and let y'all hear it.
How you doing?
Bless.
Good.
And we're also very appreciative of you taking the time to come talk to us here. I know everyone's trying to get a piece of you and talk to you and have you on their platform. So
Yo, shout out to Ann411 for the Cash App. Says, for always keeping it real for the zombies. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Ann.
definitely appreciate that. So thank you. I want to ask you just out the gate how you're doing. You know, how have you been coping with the pandemic, the civil unrest? These are, Black people have always been through trying times, but it's a little extra right now on top of our regular stress.
DL Hughley, Roland Martin, or Butter Biscuits, chill.
Those are the types that actually are for the Butter Biscuits. Appreciate that.
We got another layer on top. You know, we got 10 on 20 right now. So how are you doing?
I'm doing good. The pandemic, it hit everybody and caught everybody off guard. Thank God for D Nice, who started spinning them records, man, and kept people just, kind of, you kept our sanity.
Let me speed it up.
With both sides and when you got involved, which was not just recently. And so when I said, what contract was he talking about, this contract of Black America? Like, what is that? Where did it come from? I did not know. So when I think of things that I don't know, I automatically assume that a whole lot of people out there don't know. So I would want you to educate me as well. So what did make you go to the administration and speak with them?
Well, what happened was, there was a lot of yelling, a lot of people upset, a lot of reforms being put on the table during George Floyd. But I was looking around for a document that really was speaking on what's the needs in the community and what do we need across the board, not just from government, but from the private sector too. Because there's a lot of companies that are involved in our pain, and they got to pay up too. They owe us reparations as well in some shape or form. So it was nothing. I was looking around. I'm like, damn, where is the document? Where is the ask? What are we asking for as a people across the board that deals with not only police brutality, but all our needs? So I started working on it myself with, some smart people I know. We end up getting, economists involved, people like Derek Hamilton. We started to go and just find the smartest minds to help try to put a document together so we can actually have something to say, damn, all this is things we need. This is so anybody Black could look at our document and say, yeah, support this, support, some of the things that we have. Now, I'm not a politician, and I shouldn't be the one to have to put this thing together. We've had politicians in place for a long time, and they haven't come up with something like this. So I was surprised, but that didn't stop me. And we put that together July 1st, and we revamped it about, let me get the timeline here. We revamped it July 19th. And from then, people wanted to interview me about it. So I went on just promoting the contract with Black America, hoping to be contacted by any of the politicians saying, yo, this is a great idea. Everybody that I would show would say, oh, these are great ideas. This is common sense. This is things that should be in place already, but they're not. So I was just kind of saying, okay, we're going to start an initiative, and I'll make a long story short. I was just going up, basically saying, okay, we're going to go after the private sector. We're going to go after the banks. We're going to go after Hollywood. We're going to go after the people that we know got their hands in the cookie jar. The other way around. I was hoping the Democrats
come on board with you, because let's be honest, you are Ice Cube and you do have a huge platform. So I would say that for me to know that you've been using your platform to be able to have an initiative like that, I think it's worth you doing the interviews that you're doing and letting everybody know and hear your voice on why.
I just want to jump in and say, I just don't think it's that fair to the 7,000 Black elected officials that have been in office.
Right, to say that they've done nothing. Right.
Yeah, because I think that...
Well, they haven't done nothing. They've done nothing. They have done nothing for Black people, not a thing. All they do is argue with Trump. They get on social media. They clout chase. They are just doing a whole bunch of symbolism. They haven't done anything. All they did was talk about racism. Meanwhile, they're buddies with nothing but white people. They're making money, through back channels, supplementing their lifestyle. They haven't done anything. They don't care about the average everyday Black person. They don't care about putting anything together. The only time you see these Black politicians trying to do anything is when it's election season. Okay? Just like you got P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, trying to put together a political party a month before the election. These people are crazy. I told y'all these people are crazy. And Claudia Jordan, she is the type of female I talk about in a lot of my videos. Just can't stay in a relationship. She always blaming the man. She seems like one of these, feminists, wannabe alpha females that can't keep a man. All right, she's on 10, 11 different podcasts and radio shows because she can't get along with nobody. So, of course, she going to be the one to put that out there. These are the type of people who always impede any type of progress, whether you agree with it or not. Ice Cube is doing more in 2020 than these politicians have done in 30, 40 years because they've been too busy being chummy with the same establishment they claim that they are fighting against. They're not fighting against anybody. They're getting their palms greased with money because they're greasy people.
I think that's a slippery slope to walk down because as we saw with Barack,
a lot of progress that's been made.
It's not as simple as you get elected and bam, you can make a...
Vivica, you're a dummy. Ain't no progress. She the main one with the attitude. It started with Claudia, then you got Vivica, now you're seeing the other ones and their body language is starting to shift a little bit. You know? It got to be Claudia and Vivica. You would think it would be Lisa Ray, but it's Claudia and Vivica because they are the type of women that will impede progress.
Chokna joke exposed Diddy Black Party plan. Fake.
Oh yeah, it's definitely fake.
All the changes one man,
Right.
I never said that 7,000 people, black people, have never did anything. I said that since the 60s, there's been over 7,000 black politicians elected in prominent positions. And our situation, you know, as far as the wealth gap hasn't changed. We flatlined from the 60s to now. We have not gained or closed the wealth gap. So that's the major problem. I understand we got a lot of people, you know, working hard for progress. That the facts are, it hasn't happened in the traditional way. So that's why I want to break the mold.
So I just want to say, first of all, you know, there's this whole cancel culture that we have. First of all, ain't nobody canceling no damn Ice Cube. Let me just say that first out the gate.
Right.
This is NWA.
Thank you.
He was the first to say fuck the police. So go sit down. Nobody's canceling Ice Cube, and if you are canceling, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, I do think that it is very good that you are taking an initiative to, and I like how you say bipartisan, because that means both parties. This is for both parties. We want both parties to jump onto this. This is not just, oh, this person, that person. We want everybody to grab a hold on to what African-American people need singularly. And I remember we talked about this on Cocktails. Remember, Lisa Ray, when you asked the question before, you were like, well, who's going to do something? Who's going to lead singularly for African Americans? Now, I do know that there have been tons of initiatives. CBC has initiatives all the time, Congressional Black Caucus, the Nation of Islam.
Hold on, let me put this on screen. Maybe I won't get in trouble. I'm only playing a part. I'm not gonna play the whole video. It's 30 minutes. Y'all can go watch the video, but I'm just gonna play certain parts so y'all can get the gist of.
Hey, right here, National Agenda. They've had an entire agenda that happened right after the Million Man March. It was presented to what's the name? The president that was in, what's his name? Clinton. It was presented to the Clinton administration. So we have tried. There has been trying going on. But one thing I do like about your initiative is that it is singular to Black people. That gap, that wealth gap is a fool, and it does need to be fixed immediately. But here's my question. I watched you on the Black Report the other day, on Friday, and they asked you, hey, Q, what do you think about, you know, when you see the Black Man March, and how does that make you feel? And you said something that was really profound that stood out to me. You said, you know what? I wish that Black people and Black men could watch this over again and get back to this, because you said, even myself, we need to get back to this type of unity, this type of connecting. And so my thing is, let's say whoever get in office, it ain't gonna matter. The initiative is set, and then it's like nothing's happening, or something is happening, or whatever, you know, it's there. Now, well, let's say they give us all the $500 billion that we asked for. Do you honestly think, and I'm not even trying to be funny or trying to catch nobody up or nothing, I'm just asking like a real question. With the state of how our community is already broken, how we already have PTSD, how we already are not connecting already interculturally, the infrastructure of African Americans in general is just jammed up with or without money. Do you think, and what could be the process of, once we get this money, of implementing it properly into our communities and really being able to allocate it where it makes sense and matters, and what's going to be necessary for that to happen.
Well, you know, what I said on the show about the Million Man March was the fact that it was the Million Man March, but it was a day of atonement. It was a day where we were gonna bury the hatchet with each other. It was the day when we were supposed to go back to our neighborhood kind of as new people and try to, you know, make things better.
Right.
And, you know, it just didn't happen the way, you know, we all envisioned it. But that don't mean we can't start. You know, we do need financial help in our communities, but we also gotta make a commitment to ourselves to clean up ourselves. You know, it do start with the person in the mirror. You know, you can't deal with the white man out here until you deal with the white man in there. You see what I mean? So you have to clean up. We have to clean up ourselves. We've been poisoned by this society. We've been poisoned by trying to live like the people who've had us oppressed, and what they are attracted to, we're attracted to. We got to come out of that. We got to be our own people with our own flavor, our own style, our own morals, and we got to flip it. You know, I'm not Mr. Holy. I'm guilty of it too. So it's something we all have to start doing to clean ourselves up. But I think the key is to try to get the money in the hands of people who are doing things, who are trying to be on the right side, the progressive people, the people who are, you know, business owners, people who want to own homes, you know, people who want to beautify their homes so it isn't, you know, just gentrified, you know. So it's things where we can get money into responsible people's hands, and hopefully they'll hire the community to teach the community. They'll use the community to hopefully clean the community up.
You know what's a real shame is that it takes the year 2020 before we could actually start thinking and believing this. It's because we've been lulled to sleep by these celebrities and politicians that say, look, listen, the conservatives are racist. You need to support the Democratic Party because look at us, we're black and we're Democrats. But after these elections, everything goes back to where it was, and these black politicians disappear, the celebrities disappear, they go on about their lives, and black people are still stuck in the same conditions they've been in because we have been giving our vote away for free for a long time. A long time.
You know, I also think the government has a job too. You know, why you use the armies just to come in and put guns on us and make sure we're not protesting? Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? You know, it's like they got to rethink how government works for the people, and they're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find pressure points, and you're going to have to use leverage when it's time. You know,
I just got to
everybody
make a quick statement, though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration that is in there right now hasn't done it for the past 3.5 years.
Now here she go. She about to go in like the conservatives are racist. They don't do nothing for black people. They've only been in office for 3 years. What about all these Democratic presidents that have come and gone? They have done nothing but lock up black people and not give us anything, you know?
What do you think is going to make them start in the next 4 years that they are given more and given more during a pandemic? I know you got to take a break. Hold that thought, but I just got to ask that and make that statement because you can't make them tell them all of that, and they've been there for 3.5 years. So
I ain't trying to make them do nothing. So
We
need them to do something if we're going to trust them to do it.
Hold on, guys. We got to take a quick break. Okay. I definitely want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about QB hit on some very cocktails with the queens when we was with the, but we're hearing about it now, so it looks really.
Use celebrities, but check this out. The thing is this: I'm not here saying he gonna do anything, but he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So He's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints black people. We don't know if any of them going to do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with, because he's told the world this is what he's going to do. And if he doesn't deliver, he looks bad to everybody. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman, run. And nobody's been pressing him on behalf of black people, because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in.
I do not agree with you on that statement. There has been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids in cages? I mean,
okay, Vivica, what does that have to do with black people? What does kids in cages got to do with black people? Do y'all see this? She going into full white liberal mode. What about the immigrants? What about them kids in cages? That was a program that was being ran by Obama's administration. They were the ones putting kids in cages. That wasn't something that just started with Trump.
There's a lot of things that
taking kids from their parents, taking immigrant kids from their immigrant parents.
I understand that.
I'm not going to give him no plus signs whatsoever.
But check this out. I'm talking about pressing him to give things to black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about black people pressing him to give things to black people. Everybody treated him like the boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give things to black people. The stuff that he's doing to the rest of the country, I understand that, but we raggedy. We got to get our.
Y'all see that? What does? See, they don't care nothing about black people. They care what the white liberal got going on. That's where they get their talking points from. That's where that emotion comes from. They don't care about black people. They just care about keeping the status quo. If anything threatens the status quo, they think it threatens them. And they don't want to hear it. Look at the over talking. Now they're going to start the over talk. And it's mostly Vivica.
We have to press any president that ends up winning. We have to press, or it's not going to work. We can't just press one side.
He says when we do press him that the other people are fine people. I mean, is that right? He won't denounce the people that hurt us and suppress us. And and then the policeman had his neck
y'all hear that, man?
For 9 minutes.
Look at Vivica. Vivica is the main one. I knew she'd have a problem because Vivica is industry. Like, she's been in the industry for a long time. She's an industry rat, okay? So, of course, she's going to be emotional and upset because she's one of these old school entertainment black women, okay? And, again, anything that threatens the status quo and threatens their position, she's going to immediately take up for the white liberal. It's going to be people like Vivica.
Never support them.
I'm not here to fight about what he did, what he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So now,
I don't agree with that.
With that said,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with. Can I? I don't agree. I used to be.
Look. I know we've had all kind of presidents, and our situation hasn't changed. So that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with our situation.
So let me. I gotta ask this question. Because you're on this show with the cocktails with the queens, and there's a reason for that. It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about. I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not. We're not mentioned at all in the contract.
Here they go. What about black women?
With Black America, and
You're mentioned. I mean, when you mention black people, you mentioning black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
That's like administration say that when they
black people is not black women.
Black
women are not included in black people.
No, it is. But that's like, that's like you saying. That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including black people. But we all know that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also
specific
being met.
needs.
So we also feel that there should be
Specific needs. What? Getting your weed from South Korea or from Malaysia? Is that the specific need? Is it getting your eyelashes and getting your skin bleaching creams? Is that the specifics? Is it getting your welfare? Is that the specifics? What specifics is she talking about?
some things that are specific to us and our plight as well. And
GW care about
I feel like
everybody else
man,
but Black America, while statically women start the divorce process and break up Black families.
Appreciate that, Tam. Good point.
you can leave.
No.
I feel like
Well,
you
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said
I'm here for that.
I don't mind if you
Put
guys
us on.
help us.
Oh,
If you
okay.
guys help us write a section. No, I've been open to all kind of experts.
Y'all see how that demeanor changed? You see how that demeanor changed when they thought they was excluded? And like, oh, we're included? Oh, okay. You see how crazy these people are, man?
In putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we willing to
I'm
deal
done with
experts
those birds,
in the
Eagle.
section when it
Next.
Let's see. Thanks, Charles.
comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
And I'll help
this.
you write it. I'll
Say
help you
you're-
write it.
Say you do get the money. How soon do
Yeah.
you think your plan is going to go into effect?
It ain't
When
my
will we
money.
start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting 1/4. Okay,
But-
this
no,
is
no,
something
no,
he's
no, no, no.
promising.
I said
This is something
when-
he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that can fit.
Okay,
Just
but
like
can
Joe
I just
Biden's
ask
plan.
though? What would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
Well,
I'm not here. I'm here for Black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations about the contract with Black America. The Platinum Plan is not mine. Didn't name it. Didn't put it together. All I did was meet about the contract with Black America. They added some things, and I'm willing to meet with both sides.
I want to make sure. We just want clarity.
Same time, guys.
We can't all talk at the same time. I gotta ask a question, y'all.
Please.
With over 20,000 lies told to the American people by this president, I'm a former friend of Donald Trump. I work with them. I made money with him.
She worked with Donald Trump. She made money with him. So now you hate him? Huh?
Personally, it would have served me better to still stay on his side. Why would you believe after he gets Black votes, his whole goal from 3 years ago was to siphon 20% of Black male votes to cross over to vote to support him? Why would we believe that he has, once he gets reelected, he will follow through with any of these plans, as opposed to Joe Biden and Kamala, who would be in their first term and be more indebted to do the right thing to get reelected for a second term?
Right.
Why should we believe that Donald Trump would actually follow through? That's a legit question that I have.
He ain't followed through
Yeah,
on
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out because I'm not sure if he's gonna do it or not. I'm not sure what any of these guys are gonna do. All I know is we got to push our agenda, no matter who's in there. And you know, in a perfect world, you know, the Biden campaign would have brought me in and we would have really talked about the plan, and they would have did, you know, great things to their plans to.
Look how they put this picture up. Look how they put this picture up. This is what they want y'all to support. They want y'all to support basically senile Caucasian man and a fake Black woman. That's what they want y'all to support. A senile Caucasian man who's known for being creepy with a pretend fake Black woman. That's what they want y'all to support. This is what they want y'all to support. And you got dumbass people, dumbass melanated people that are going to support this because they don't know no better. They really don't. They don't know no better. They're politically stupid. Okay?
Those chicks told on themselves when they said that Black people doesn't include Black women. There's your proof that they don't care about Black people.
No,
Only
they don't.
themselves.
They care about themselves, and that's why no one cares about them like that, because they don't care about nobody but themselves. They're selfish people. These types of women are selfish, grimy people who care about nothing but their own positions in life. That's why their net worth is where it is. That's why the majority of them are single and they're raising children by themselves, because the world is starting to see them for who they are. So that's why they have to get on Ice Cube, because he's threatening the status
Claudia
quo.
probably smashed Trump.
She probably did, or wanted to.
Specifically target black people, but they chose not to, and that's fine.
I gotta ask
But the
you,
thing is, I'm not a supporter of neither one of them.
No, I'm saying
So
it's not too
that's
late.
what's the problem. I'm
If
an
they
independent
can
person.
still have a conversation with the administration. If Biden wins and Kamala wins, it's not too late. So I don't think it's fair to like dismiss what they are. They're not in power yet, so they really can't say. They really can't say and promise things because they're not yet in power. We're not even in power in Congress.
You can't make campaign promises,
but why
and they have. That's what the
platform make the promise when they're in office.
Well, they put out promise. So the thing is, you can always.
I'm not gonna play this whole video.
There's touching the
skip
hands
through
of
some of this.
Call would talk about it with 12 other people who had nothing to do with it.
Okay, that's pretty much all I'm gonna play, man. That's almost 30 minutes of video, man. But y'all got the gist of what was going on. Y'all can go and watch this video. Go look at the comment section. A lot of people were flipping on them. Like the stream people, we got over 900 in the chat. Like the stream people. There were a lot of people who were turning on them in the comment section because they were seeing the bullshit for what it was. Okay? So when y'all go at us as black men and claim that we don't know what we're talking about, why are we talking about black women? Because you have heifers like that who makes all of you look bad. Okay? They make all of you look bad. They do. The stupidity, man. The absolute stupidity from those women. And I have to give it to Cube for keeping his composure throughout that. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm gonna play the last bit because I don't want to play this whole video. I want to listen to the last bit. I want y'all to listen to the last bit of this though.
He dealt with rally call. So we're
not meeting with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this. You are. So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job.
I want y'all to understand too, and this is my last point. I'm playing a little something. This is my last point. They're not fighting for black people. These women like this are fighting for themselves. That's why they're single. That's why Claudia is single. She's fighting for herself. These are selfish women, okay? They care about their own positions in life. That's why they can't keep a man, especially a black man, because a black man is not going to put up with Vivica, and they're not going to put up with Claudia.
You took that position to
I'll
lead this.
write it up.
So like, don't say you.
I'll write up.
He should never have to raise his voice like
Y'all
that.
help me. See, that's the problem.
I'm down for
I can tell you why.
You just let me
know.
know.
Party. So anyway,
The initiatives have already been set. And so
I wish. Listen, you guys, we are way over. We're way over. I wish we would have you.
Y'all see how Cube had to take a drink? He never wants to be in a room full of black women ever again. And Cube, listen, bro, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, bro. I wouldn't want to be around them heifers
These
either.
aren't really black people that talking to Ice Cube Eddie Hollywood backstabbers.
Oh yeah, man. These are the type of women that will sling mud. They will talk behind your back in order to get your position. A lot of you black women need to beware of women like that. Okay? Women like that will sleep with your husbands and boyfriends behind your back. They will try to steal your job from up under you. These are the type of women these are. And yeah, man, that's all I have to say on that. I want to get to this Tory Lanez situation too. Make sure y'all keep liking the stream too. See if I can find the video. Okay. With Tory. So we get into it real quick. All right. Shout out to David Nino Brown. All right. Let's get into this Tory Lanez situation real quick, and after that, I'm gonna take phone calls. All right.
And we know that what you're saying and what the alleged things and the alleged accusations of my name are not true. It's falsified information. It's false information, and it's not accurate information. I don't ever want to
Black
come
community
off like
is done. Just look out for kinfolk.
Right. Appreciate it, David.
Bash this girl, or I'm here to talk down about this girl, or ever be at a place where like I'm
Vivsa is an old dirty bitch.
Thanks, real night.
Because to me as a person, she's still my friend. No matter what, even if she doesn't look at me like that, I look at her like she's still my friend. In the times that we were the joyous moments and good moments. So I'm not gonna sit here and bash her, but at the same time, it comes to a certain standpoint of me as a person where it's like, yo, do y'all want me to just sit here and just allow my name to be assassinated, my character to be assassinated, everything that I worked for to get here to just be assassinated for something that I did not do, something that the events that are being said are not even accurate and accurately being portrayed to everybody, the narrative that's being created to make me come off like I'm some monster is now what I'm having to live through for 3 months straight of just people just coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And it's like, yo, I'm not here to beg no sympathy from nobody. I've never been one of those people. I'm not a person that's sitting here like, yo, everybody feels sorry for me. Like, nah. Because at the end of the day, if I did what they're saying I did, then by all means, I would say the same exact thing about me. I say that nigga's a bitch ass nigga.
Can't reason or dialogue with overgrown children.
I agree, Don. Absolutely agree.
He doesn't respect females. He's a fuck boy, and that nigga deserves no respect, period. I've never been a person that all of a sudden, you know, is everybody all of a sudden like, yo, he's this guy who doesn't protect black women, and he's this guy who, but it's like, he's this guy who doesn't care about black women. That's what the narrative is now switched into and certain things like that. And it's like, hold on, I need y'all to really back this up. When have I not showed out for black women? Every single one of my videos, the lead girl is black. From Say It to Love to now. Like, when have I not showed love to black women?
Okay, shout out to C Truth, the Revelator. Appreciate you for becoming a member of the channel. Shout out to you, bro. And if you also want to join the channel, click that join button. Join the team.
I made 5 chicks tapes about black love, about a black relationship, about a ghetto relationship at that. Like, you feel me? Like, when did I become this person? Like, my favorite song on the last chicks tape that I put out was Beauty in the Benz. And that was a record that with Snoop Dogg that I loved. And instead of me even being inside of the video, like really take me in for a second. Instead of me even being in the video, and this is before all this, instead of me being in the video, I made the video all about the empowerment of black women. There's nothing but different types of black women in the video.
Y'all know what this Instagram live to me was just an appeal to black women. That's what it seemed like to me. It was an appeal to black women because unfortunately, that's who you have to appeal to in the black community these days. If you are a rapper or in the entertainment industry in regards to the music industry, social media in general, you have to appeal to black women. They like that position of power. But there are a lot of black women who will side with Meg Thee Stallion, and I think he knows that. Because she's a black female, and if she made a claim, then obviously she must be telling the truth. That's what they're telling themselves. But what a lot of melanated women don't understand is that black women lie too. And there have been situations where they've been caught lying. But we want to act like all women tell the truth. Believe all women. No. You need to believe the facts.
All shapes, sizes, colors, ages, that just shows the love in what I'm doing. And it's like all of a sudden a narrative comes out with no factual evidence, and all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. And it's like, yo, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I understand, like, and I support the whole movement of protecting black women, but I want to speak on something. And sometimes, you know I'm not always in the right place to speak on things, but this is something that I went through, and so I feel like I'm able to speak on it. I am all for protecting black women. That is something that is the most one of the most important things that needs to be taken serious and awareness needs to be brought to. And regardless, if this debacle, regardless of what you guys think happened, if this situation caused you guys to pay more attention and more awareness to protecting black women, then I'm fine that I had to be dragged through the dirt for that. But I want y'all to understand something. It's a problem when it becomes that protecting black women doesn't mean to protect black men. That doesn't make sense. From the beginning of time, when you really think about how this works, like from the beginning of time, we've been taught to be with our own heritage. And
it feels like Tory Lanez is bowing down to the level of black women to get forgiveness.
Thank you, Abby. That's what it looks like. It looks like he is making an appeal to black women. Like, black women, believe me, forgive me, I'm begging you. That's what it seems like. Unfortunately, that's what it seems like. You would hope that wouldn't be the case, but that's the case in this situation, because he knows that he does have a lot of black women who listen to his music, who support him, and he doesn't want to lose that. But he also doesn't want people going off on him on social media either, making it a male versus female thing, you know?
And from the beginning of time, we've been taught to be with our own heritage. White man and white woman, white girl and white man, Spanish man, Spanish woman, Indian man, Indian woman. When you guys start making it like put black men down and protect the black women, I'm not saying you guys, I don't mean to make it like, oh, you're attacking, but when we as a whole make it protecting black women means putting down black men, then it comes to a point where it's like, okay, well, who's going to protect black women? Who is supposed to be protecting black women? It has to be black men. It's not the white man. It's not the Spanish man. It's not the man who, it's not none of those. It's not the Chinese man. It's not none of those men.
Well, you asked Jamel Hill, she wants to do away with patriarchy. She wants to do away with patriarchy. So because she wants to do away with patriarchy, she not looking for black male protection.
It's black men. It's black men. And I'm not saying that black men aren't the people who, in times, who aren't the people who inflict certain issues and mental issues and certain things that girls go through. Like, black men are very much the cause of a lot of things that women go through, because of, at the end of the day, like the way we were raised, certain standpoints. Maybe we didn't have a parent around. Some things were just not here to, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, it's like, you got to remember at the standpoint, if the man is supposed to be, and I say this loosely because I don't want anybody to take this out of context. If the man is supposed to be the head and a woman is supposed to be the neck, y'all got to think about this. In order for the head to move, left, right, whatever it is doing, it needs the guidance of the neck. It needs the guidance of the woman. In order for me to smell and use my 5 senses on my face, for me to lean in or whatever the case is, I still need to use the neck. I still need to be guided by a woman. So regardless, it's like, I don't feel like I should be torn down. If anything, before y'all know the story, like, learn the story first, learn the factual parts of the story first, and then come at me and be like, yo, you need to fix this and fix that.
You know what's crazy? Tory Lanez was one of those people who, shout out to Curtis Paris for becoming a member of the channel, joining the team. Appreciate that, Curtis. He was one of those people that was like, yo, let the people riot. Let them tear up stuff. He was that guy. He was all for people tearing up their own communities, right? And now he's in a situation where he wants people to, side with him and stick with the facts and not be emotional. Well, bro, you're dealing with emotional people. Melanated people in America are very, very, very emotional. Okay? That is why it gets used against us in a lot of situations.
Tory just wants to keep eating out Megan.
All right, Falcon.
That's what you feel like I did. But instead, I'm being torn down for a narrative that's like, now I'm the poster boy for I don't like black women. But anyways, let's get into this. I want to get into this because it's very important for me to just say this. I'm not here to bash this woman. I'm not here to come down on this woman. I'm not here to disrespect her or throw her under the bus, but it comes to a certain standpoint where I just can't let my character be assassinated for things that are not even really true, and for falsified narratives and information. let's start this off. When the original report came out, and it was a TMZ report about this, that, and the third, and there was gunshots in Kylie Jenner's house, and Tory Lanez goes to jail. They gave y'all all the facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail, and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested, and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Rock Nation that says, yo, we heard you're gonna make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. So I'm like, oh, okay, I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever. It's like, I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, the TMZ report come out. TMZ reports, and have the surveillance now. Now they see the video of the arrest. You see Megan, you see me, and you see it's all sprawled out on the ground in bathing suits and blah, blah, blah. And everything I'm saying is public record. You can go back and look at this shit. You can go back and see it. Like, you feel me? So they say, oh, okay, you know, you see her out of the car. She's getting out of the car. She's hopping. It looks bad, bro. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I felt bad watching it because it made her look bad. And it didn't make her look good. It didn't make any of us look good. And I didn't want that for her. I don't see that for anybody. So all of a sudden, when we get arrested, or when it looks like we all got arrested, the memes start. Now I want to really bring you guys in for a second so you can understand something. And I really just want you to take this in. Like, she is a person I spent enough time with her to observe and understand something about her, where it's like, she's going through a lot. She goes through a lot. She deals with a lot on her day-to-day basis. And because of that, she's not used to, you know, and not even just because of that, but just because of the fact that she's been praised so much. We've always looked at her as like, yo, that's hip hop sweetheart. Like, she's nice, she's talented, whatever the case is, cool. And because of that, like, we've never seen a moment where the memes have come at her, where the memes are like, yo, nigga, let's laugh at your pain. Ah, ha, 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 ha. She's never had to deal with that because she's always been praised.
Yeah, because Meg is very narcissistic. She cannot take criticism. She wants people to praise her. She wants people to lust for her. You know, that's what she wants. She does not want criticism. She does not want people going at her. She does not want people making fun of her. She can't take it. But what they have to understand is that in the social media age, you know, that's going to happen if you are a celebrity. People are either going to really like you or they're going to make fun of you. That's what's going to happen. You know, and in this situation only heightened it because there are people who believe that she is lying.
So everything that's been happening has been a reaction off of what's been going on. So it gets down to this point now where it's like, now the reports are starting to say, okay, well, everyone's pointing to different things. No one really knows what's happened, but nobody has ever said she got shot. Nobody has ever said she got shot. Not TMZ, not the police report at this point. Nothing is saying that she got shot. Soon as she sees herself on video with the bikini and the things like that, and it looks bad, she then comes out and says, yo, the narrative of me getting cut by glass, it's just not true. She doesn't point at nobody or anybody or say anything or anything like that. She just says the narrative that whatever came out of me being cut by glass is not true. I was shot in my feet with the intention to harm me and put harm and danger upon me, right? So, okay, cool. Like, all of a sudden, the affiliates of her circle start pointing like little subliminal fingers, like count your days and like I won't be around when you shooting at feet and like little funny things that they start doing. And I'm kind of like, damn, hold on, where are y'all about to take this? Because y'all told me not to make a statement, so I'm trying to figure out where y'all taking me to. I don't get it. So then at this point she goes live because people are not really understanding the story or whatever cases. She waits. She doesn't go on, you know, a time when it's just a regular time. For y'all who don't understand, it was one of those things where me and her knew what was going on, but y'all didn't know what was going on. She went live on my birthday and then she says, yo, you know, and the thing about the whole jury thing is like, my bad. She knew that it wasn't a situation where, like, she knew she had to do certain sympathetic things, I guess, to push the narrative. And I don't know who told her to do certain things like that. And I'm not the one who's trying to, like, ever point the finger at anybody. But when it really comes down to it, it's like, you went on live on your birthday, and then you said, on my birthday, and then you said, I got shot in my foot, and it didn't hit no bones or tendons. So everybody's looking at this, and again, the internet is a sick place. This is a place where people don't give a fuck about you. They do what they do. They antagonize and they do what they do. You go in and you see you get shot in your foot, no bones or tendons.
They are right. He is right about that. The internet is a sick place. I see the mental illness on social media every day. Just go on Twitter and scroll the trending tab and you will see exactly what I mean. It's a place where people with all types of issues come to alleviate their own issues and stress. So he is right. Social media is a sick place. It really is. So you need to really be mindful of what areas you find yourself in, because you never know what rabbit hole you may go down, you know?
The internet goes into an outrage because some people are like, hold on, how you not get shot? How you get shot in your foot and it don't hit no bones or tendons? Like, whoever is watching this, like, if you need to go on Google and look at a foot anatomy of bones and skeletons and tendons, you realize there's like 30 bones in your feet and like 100 tendons, some crazy number like that, right? So she now gets to this place where the people are like, hold on, and again, the internet is sick. The internet starts coming at her and saying, yo, show your feet, because we're seeing you at DJ Khaled's house and you're on your tippy toes, and then we're seeing that you're, that you're here and there, and they're antagonizing her. They're brutally coming for her and not giving her, I guess, what it is that she needed. But it gets to this point where now she posts a picture of a foot, and she posts this picture of a foot. There's no exit wound. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the story, and she says under the post, you see, I got shot in the back of my foot because when I was walking away from the car, she says she puts this in capital letters. She says, I was walking away from the car and I got shot in the back of my foot. She doesn't ever show the other foot that she claims she got shot in. And I'm not trying to, again, I hate that this is coming off like I'm trying to come for her and whatever cases, but this is what I'm having to endure and watch when I'm knowing certain facts. So it gets to, it gets to this place where I'm just like, bro, like, this is not me, and I don't deserve this. Like, I don't deserve to have to go through this. Like, I never have been somebody who's had domestic cases. I've never hit no woman. I've never had abusive cases with no woman.
You know what's interesting? I think he did do what he said. I believe Rock Nation did contact him and tell him not to say nothing. He didn't say nothing. He thought it would go away. He didn't think nothing would come of it. But it's almost like he's alluding to Megan embellishing it in order to make herself look good because she didn't like the way people were talking about her. And he's just sitting back like, this is going to go away. This is going to go away. And it never went away. And I believe that's where the album came into it. He's like, yo, they really about to throw me under the bus. So he goes and puts that album out. And now he's doing his live stream because the situation still hasn't gone anywhere, and there are people still coming at him. He has a bunch of these male rappers coming at him, and that's new territory for him because he's not used to that. Now, he's used to getting into rap beefs, but they don't usually last that long. It's like you go back and forth with somebody, then it's whatever. Now it's a whole different situation, and he can't take it either. He's under the microscope, and it's getting to him as well. Even though he is saying he's innocent. And then you do have Meg Thee Stallion lying. We cannot ignore that. She did lie and say she got shot in both feet, but it was actually one. And it really wasn't a shot. It was more like a, well, I'll let him explain it.
You can't pull those type of facts up on me. I don't have those. So it's like, I just didn't understand why I'm going through this. So now it gets to this point.
Ice Cube put them in check. These women is all about themselves instead helping the black community.
Exactly, Pillsbury. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Where she posts this picture of her foot and everyone's seeing certain things and everyone's, saying certain things about her foot. And some people think it's real. Some people don't think it's real. And it gets to this place where some people are just not believing it. So she posted a picture. There's no bullet tray. Where are they taking out the bullets for the pan? Like, this is what's going on. Like, where are they taking out the bullets for the pan? I don't understand. Like, where's the surgical? You're not in a surgical room. And anybody who knows, I mean, this is like, it clearly had to be the first day that you've taken this picture. So if this is the first day that you've taken this picture, it's like, where's all the evidence? Why are you not in a surgical room? First of all, you're not even allowed to take pictures in a surgical procedure. That is against the law. It doesn't matter if you're famous or not. So it gets to this point now where it's like, she says, I was shot from behind, and blah, 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 this, that, and the third, and I was walking away. And she puts that, and then she deletes the post after. But that contradicts with the first post, because you said somebody came out to hit you with malicious harm and danger, to put you in harm and all this danger and all this stuff. How can you identify who's shooting at you if you're facing the other way? How can you even identify criminal or malicious intent if you're not seeing what's going on behind you? That doesn't even make sense. And so it's like, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, yo, this is not right. Like, and I do see when people are getting at her, and there's times when I'm like, damn, like, do I help her, or do I speak up and say, yo, don't talk about her, whatever the case is, but if I do that, then it's like I'm coming off like I'm guilty. And then if I say something about having remorse, like I would like to, or saying something about certain things, it's like I come off like I'm guilty of something that I didn't do. So I had to be quiet on certain places. Now, I need y'all to really take this in and understand like how this works at this point. When all this starts happening, LA Times, okay, this is put in public information. LA Times puts out an article, and in the article they say, this is the initial report. 2 sources close to the investigation said that she got cut by glass, and she said that she got cut by glass. So then it's like, people see that, okay, hold on, they're saying on the initial police report with Officer Santiago, whatever his name is, you can go look this up, this is on LA Times. That's when it gets to this point where it says, okay, they reported no gunfire wound in her foot. They just reported a woman with a foot injury. So you got to understand, like, this is what's in their initial police report. Fuck all the Instagram, fuck the other shit. This is just what's in the police report. So you got to understand, like, I'm getting to a point where I'm like, wow, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, like, at the end of the day, like, maybe some people might see this, maybe some people might not. It gets to academics, it gets to academics, it gets to Hollywood Unlocked, it gets to certain places, right? And she comes out with this tweet that says, keep talking and I'm gonna stop sparing you. It's like, my love, I have not been on the internet for 3 months. And
so he's basically saying that he kept quiet in order to help them both, right? But she was saying his team, I think Meg got paranoid. I do think that Meg Thee Stallion got paranoid. And I believe she did a lot of the subsequent, videos or live streams because of her paranoia. She was paranoid. And I don't think Tory was really saying anything, to be honest with you. He only started to say things once she had already went out publicly and said what she said. And he's talking about the LA. I remember that article. I ignored that article because the article didn't really have any factual information that was of use. But it just seemed to me that Megan's paranoia got the better of her in this situation. That's what I believe.
And then 30 minutes later, she just goes on live, and it's like me telling you, yo, keep talking, my nigga, and I'm gonna slap you. And then I just slap you. It's like, you didn't do anything for me to slap you, I just slapped you. So it's like, who was talking to who? Who are you saying to keep talking to? I don't understand. Whatever. It gets past this point, and it gets to a place where now she says, I'm gonna stop sparing you, whatever the case, she gets on live. Now, because it got on academics that there was no gunfire wound on the initial report, everyone starts going to her page. Again, she starts reacting to certain things. Now, I'm gonna say one thing. I'm not getting mad at her or whatever it is, because I understand that she is dealing with a lot. Like, when it comes down to, you gotta understand, she lost both of her parents, and I do sympathize with that. I lost my mother, and when I lost my mother, I realized one thing. When you lose a parent, you could be highly susceptible to people around you that are giving you parental guidance, or things that feel like parental guidance, to believing that it is parental guidance, and you go with it. That's happened to me. I've been at that place where I've listened to a lot of people that led me down the wrong road because it felt like parental guidance that I should have been getting from my mother or my father that at that time wasn't around, or whatever the case is.
He's talking about Rock Nation. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about Jay-Z and Rock Nation. That's what he's talking about.
So So now it gets to this point now, whatever the case is, boom, she comes out and she goes, listen, you guys and, you know, all this extra shit, this nigga keep talking about me. And I'm in the back, I'm over here watching this like, yo, what did I say? I didn't say nothing. I said nothing to you. It's nothing. This nigga keep talking about me, bro. And so, you know what? Now we just gonna do it. This nigga Tory shot me, bro. This nigga shot me. He shot me. She gets into it, she gets into it, she gets into it, she gets into it. This nigga shot me. She starts breaking down the story. And I want y'all to pay close attention to how she breaks down the story, okay? Really pay close attention. She breaks down the story and she says, yo, I'm arguing. I'm in the car. I'm arguing with this nigga. I'm tired of arguing with this nigga. We get into a heated argument. I'm tired of arguing with this nigga. I get out the car. This nigga get out the car, and he starts shooting me. For no reason, he starts shooting me. So boom, then the cops pull us over and da-da-da-da. Hold on, let's take the first facts back for what she just said. So you mean to tell me that you're in a car with a person and this person is arguing with you? This person has gotten you to a place of like, yo, I don't even want to be around you. Like, I'm above this. I'm out of here. You get out of the car because the heated argument is so heated. And then this person gets out and shoots you in both of your feet. And you jump back in the car? Why would you jump back in the car with a dangerous man who just did a dangerous crime to you, who did this criminal intent to you, and all this?
That is true.
Why?
I've been trying to get that from the Meg Thee Stallion fans. Like, why would she get back in the car with somebody that just shot her? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And knowing melanated women like I do, they're not about to get in no car with a dude that shot. That ain't about to happen. Okay. That's something that definitely needs to be explained, but none of her fans will explain it. None of these people that want Tory canceled can answer that question.
Why would you jump back in the car? Well, yo, then the police pull us over, and I see, you know what I'm saying, we're all black in the car, there's a gun in the car, so I don't even want to be like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want nobody to get in more trouble, and I'm trying to protect this man. I'm trying to protect this man because at the end of the day, it's niggas getting shot out here. She then throws the black card at me. I'm trying to protect this black man. My love, nobody ever reported that you got shot but you. So how are you trying to protect me? At what point were you trying to protect me? At what point? Like, you know I got a child. You know that these type of situations, even an accusation, is something that I can't even be playing with. I don't even play with my life like that. So why would that, that to me just doesn't make sense. Okay, cool. Yo, I lied to the cops. I lied to the doctors. Let me tell you why they saying there's glass in my feet, though. Because I lied to the cops. I lied to the doctors. I lied to this, that, and the third. Ladies and gentlemen, I need us to really understand what she's saying here. You mean to tell me that these medical doctors that are in an ambulance that work on-site injuries 24/7 for all day, that have to know every type of on-site injury, the specifications on the type of on-site injuries, so they can treat it right? You mean to tell me you lied to these people and they just treated you for glass when you had a bullet in you? If that's what you're saying, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say they were dumb. You mean to tell me that the cops who were called for a gunshot in a Suburban or whatever the car was found that same Suburban and found a gun in it, see you leaking, and didn't check you for bullet wounds? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say they were dumb. You then further said, yo, I'm at cotton mouth like a motherfucker smoking on it. You then say, oh, well, I was trying to protect this black man, so I never said nothing. I didn't want them to shoot me. I didn't want them to kill me. Okay, but when me and Kelsey and Quan were over there being questioned, you were in a stretcher. No one is going to shoot you in a stretcher. You had plenty of time to tell the cops that you were in danger. You had plenty of time. I'm not protecting somebody who just heinously shot me after a conversation that we just had. My mind is not on protecting you. I'm bleeding from my feet. I'm thinking about protecting my own life, and I'm in danger. Why would you not say that with 2 feet bleeding from 2 bullet holes, from what you're saying?
He sounds red pill.
Thanks, Black Rain. Appreciate it.
I don't understand that. And then there's this whole narrative of, you know, like, I didn't want to put this black man on you know, I didn't want to get him in trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm protecting this man, and he keeps talking. And so now, you know, he keeps getting his media team to start doing certain things to make me look incredible and to smear me. And to make him look good and to make it look like I'm like, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, have I been around in the last 3 months saying anything? Have you seen in the last 3 months one article that made me look good during this? One? Have you seen it? You haven't seen it nowhere. Because at the end of the day, my PR team is not out here playing with my jeopardy of my life and freedom. Y'all are doing this for the internet. This is my life. I'm the only person with the case. So at the end of the day, when you sit here, y'all, like, I'm not gonna jeopardize my son, even if I know, regardless of what I know, it will come to light, and the truth will come to light. And no issue with that. I have no issue with that. But I need y'all to understand, like, I'm a human being, bro. Like, this shit hurts, bro. Seeing my friends, people that I had on quarantine radio, be people that were just like my real, like, at least people I thought were my friends, like people I thought were like cool people, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, everybody just shunned me. I showed everybody love at the top of the year. Everybody was on quarantine radio, hee hee ha ha ha. And the second y'all have an accusation, not even evidence, niggas just come bash me, I'm somebody who just, I don't get a say, then I understand. Sometimes the way I move is unconventional, you know? And I came to a place where I was dealing with so much just talk and heat and just people coming at me that I made music because I was like, this is how I can speak through what I gotta do. This is how.
Well, he is right. They did switch up on him. A lot of those people who he did bring on his platform, when this opportunity and this situation happened, they did flip on him because a lot of those people only think about themselves. They were using Tory and his quarantine radio for attention and clout.
We get so mad about artists making songs about the same thing, money, chains, and cars. So when a nigga comes out and says his true passion, puts his true heart, his emotions, the pain that he's dealing with his baby mother, his child, when a nigga goes and does that and pours his emotion into the tape, or what, he wrong? I'm wrong? I get shunned off. They took me off of every single playlist. They took me off of every playlist. They didn't want my story to come out. They didn't allow my story to come out because it came off insensitive. I came off insensitive to people. Now I want to speak on this. I don't ever watch 9 days straight in Miami for her and George Floyd. I would never, bro, I've mourned this woman as well. And everyone said, listen, we're mourning a black woman today and you dropped an album? How dare the disrespect? Guys, let's bring this back. That day that I dropped that album, my mom, that was her birthday. And that was also the day she died. So I was also mourning a black woman, my mother. That meant a lot to me. My name is Daystar. I'm her youngest son. That meant a lot to me. And all I was doing was giving a truthful album about what I'm going through. And I thought that people were going to be able to hear it and feel me. But they didn't do that. And I don't expect, everyone to just jump into my side because at the end of the day, I didn't deserve that for the way that I handled this. There's been insensitive things that I've done and I apologize for, as far as me not talking to y'all, addressing y'all, coming to y'all sooner and saying, yo, bro, I ain't do this, my nigga. But y'all gotta understand the reason why I wasn't able to do that. Once they made this an actual thing, I immediately called the lawyer and was just like, yo, what can I do here? Because there's times I was like, I'm gonna just say the whole story right now. They need to know. No, you're not allowed to talk. I will handle that for you in the court of law.
And that's where I'm gonna leave it off at. I think y'all basically got the gist of what was being said by Tory. And those were the topics of discussion. All this ties in together. I hope y'all understand this. All this ties in together, man. We have black men who are on the fence. Ice Cube, who's actually trying to help black people, and Tory Lanez, who thought that he was helping himself and somebody else, but he realizes now that he only has to help himself. And y'all know what's crazy is that black people are attacking Ice Cube. Black people are attacking Tory Lanez. I'm not trying to use the race thing, but I'm telling you, I'm just the engagement. I'm just saying. You know, you got Jamel Hill, who doesn't care. She's so mentally screwed up because of, you know, black men who are starting to stand up for themselves is starting to mentally screw her up and other women like her. We're just seeing a cultural shift. And I think it's a good thing because it's starting to expose the problems that is permeating underneath the surface. And this is why we have to separate ourselves from these mentally ill bunch of people who want the status quo. You see, I don't want the status quo, and neither should you. You cannot have a black community if you do not have black male leadership. I'm sorry. That's just how it goes. Matriarchies do not work. I don't care what went on 10, 2, 3, 4,000 years ago in Africa. I mean, look at Africa now. We're talking about what's going on today. And we can't talk about what has worked. First off, you can't have protection without strong male leadership. Because are black women going to get out there and do the protecting of neighborhoods? I don't think so. Are they going to be, you know what I'm saying? The dangerous work is always going to be left to the men. The tough decision making for the most part is going to be left up to the men. Not saying that women can't have input, but they don't want that spot. Because if something goes wrong, they don't want that blame. See, we as men, we're used to taking the blame for situations. We don't like, we can't point the finger. We can't point the finger at all, man. And I'm glad that all of you waking up. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been working for the last 5 years, almost 6 years, to help a lot of you guys wake up and see what is going on before it is too late. And to see that a lot of y'all are waking up, it makes me feel good.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Cornelius. This is what I've been working towards these years. Me and others, not just me. To wake y'all up to see what is going on out here. To really just understand where we are as melanated men. Our position in society. We are pushed into the background by the same women who claim they are for us. When really they are not. They are for themselves. They will throw us under the bus every chance they get. Just to put themselves in positions of power, which really is not really a position of power. They're always beneath somebody else. But if something goes wrong and they need protecting, who are they going to call? Ghostbusters? What are you going to call Ghostbusters? You see, you have white feminists, right? But at the end of the day, if those women have to choose between having strong male leadership and having women running and controlling and operating and protecting everything, they're going to choose the latter. They're going to choose to keep strong male leadership, but put themselves in a more of a position of power in that structure. They're not looking to overtake that structure. No, that's the black women that are trying to do that. It's the black women that are trying to jockey for position, who are only caring about themselves. So we really have to look at the fact that these women attack Ice Cube the way that they do, the way that they are. You got women who are going at Tory Lanez because they have past trauma they've never gotten over. So to them, all black men are abusers, which is not the truth. Not all black men are abusers, just like not all black women are bad mothers. Shout out to Ernest, Ada, appreciate that. But they are deflecting, no, they're projecting their own insecurities onto him. You locked out of Twitter for calling. I feel Twitter don't like me praising Ice Cube. Appreciate that, Sandy Beach. I mean, yeah, because Ice Cube is seen as the enemy. He's like, how dare you go and speak with Trump? Like, we're supposed to criticize Trump. We're not supposed to talk to him. That's the attitude. They don't want black people to succeed. They want black people to be a permanent underclass. That's what they want. That they can use whenever they need to use them and then discard them. That's what they feel about black people. They don't want us to do better. They want us to be dependent on them. And I'm talking about those liberals. They want us to be dependent on them. They don't want us to think for ourselves. They don't want us to be great. They want us to be where they can control us. But I will not be controlled. I don't know about y'all, but I will not be controlled. I'm going to continue to speak the truth. I'm going to continue to do what I feel like is my purpose. And it's to wake up a lot of y'all. There's a lot of men and women that have told me that they've benefited a lot from my commentary, which is good. It shows me that what I have done has worked, whether people agree with the topics or things that I speak on or not. It's worked. It's worked. And I do it from a place of understanding and a place of seeing the world for what it is. I see the world for what it is. A lot of people live in a fantasy land. They live in a bubble. I don't. I've seen the good and the bad in people, but I'm willing to recognize that there are good people out there, and there are also very bad people out there. There are people out there that are mentally unstable, and they should not have any type of power whatsoever because they wouldn't know what to do with it. They would just abuse it. How many of y'all know? How many of y'all know of women that have told you, and there are women in the chat too. How many of you ladies have worked for women that you really could not stand, that you have preferred to work for men than women? Because I've been told by women that they prefer to work under men than work for other women. I've heard horror stories about female managers and supervisors and how they abuse their power, how they bring their problems from home to work, how they're horrible to work for because they get a little bit of power and they misuse it. They misuse the power that they were given because they're mentally unstable and they're crazy. Even women don't want to be around and work for other women. They don't want to be friends with other women because they see that darkness in them. They see those issues in them. Shout out to Nelson DaCosta. Appreciate that. And a lot of women will tell you they cannot stand working for other women. They would prefer to work under men. Even though they try to tell you that men are misogynistic, they like to harass women. Ain't that thing they like to claim? These guys be abusing their power. They are out here harassing all these women, trying to get sex from these women. But you got women that would prefer to work for men, though. That Me Too narrative is just it's a power grab. That's all it is. Because a lot of women are willingly sleeping with these men, but when they don't get what they want, they Me Too these men. They Me Too them. When they get nothing out of that encounter, then they want to go and run and try to get the guy fired. They want to press charges because they didn't get what they wanted. They wanted the guy to leave his wife. They wanted the guy to promote them to a position of power. He didn't do it. So they go and they try to Me Too him. But for the most part, there are women who would prefer to work for men than women because they know women better than anybody. And they don't want to be underneath no woman in regards to a work dynamic. You see, women have enjoyed their rise in power over the last couple of years using the black men dying. They've used that. They've Me Too'd the shit out of men in power, and they have gained access to success and power from that Allegations can destroy a man. It can make a man walk away from what he has built because of allegations. Because he's making the company look bad with his affairs. Let me tell you something. No man should ever date a woman who goes and tries to meet to a man because he wouldn't leave his wife. Okay? Or he broke up with her, so she wants to go public. I would not trust no woman like that. So, as the women here can attest, there's a lot of Jamel Hills out here, women who are just feminist minded, but they're selfish. They're feminist minded, they're selfish. These women that Ice Cube was talking to, these women hate men. They hate the power of men. They want to be in those positions of power. That's why they can't keep a man, because they're trying to compete with him. And people just cannot stand to work under them. Work with them. This is a crazy world, but the thing that we can do the most is get around like-minded people and discuss these issues and really get a better understanding of the world, because there are mental illness permeating with these women. You got a lot of these women who've been hurt, and they carry that hurt everywhere. They want everybody to suffer and pay for the things that have happened to them. I'm sorry. That has nothing to do with me. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. That's your pain. You deal with it. You cannot blame everybody for why you're hurt. Go deal with that hurt on your own time. I don't care. And I don't want to be a part of your pity party. Okay? I don't want to have to deal with your male hate. Again, mental illness is running rampant. And the worst thing is that you got these lame, effeminate beta males, these I hate my daddy type males who get on social media and they defend this shit. You guys, they look at you the same way. No matter if you are into women, into men, or you agree with women, no matter what side of the fence you're on, no matter if you're dating white women, because we know that a lot of you dudes out here dating white women, dating non-black women, y'all the main ones that want to come to the defense of a black woman and diss a black man in defense of a black woman when you're not even with one. Y'all are the worst, because y'all are the biggest hypocrites. The biggest hypocrites, the biggest clowns. Put that black fist down. Don't come at me trying to defend the black woman when you with Becky. I ain't trying to hit. Mrs. Letitia. Yeah, man, I've heard that. I've heard that. That the women in these offices get very jealous if they're not getting the attention of the men in the office, and they will try to sabotage the women there. They'll try to sabotage the other women. It's one big competition to them. It's one big competition to them. But nonetheless, man, I appreciate y'all being here on this live stream. How long has this live stream been? How long have I been live? I've been live for a minute, man. Been live for a minute. Oh, I got 12 thumbs down. Oh. Well, shout out to everybody that thumbs it up. You know what I'm saying?
Had 2 female managers. It was good, shockingly.
I mean, for men, it could be. But there are men that will tell you otherwise. That's why men are leaving corporate America, because they have female bosses they don't want to deal with. You know? Chaos says an hour and 56 minutes. So about 2 hours almost. 2 hours. But yeah, man, this is a good live stream, man. I think I said all I needed to say. I think I said all I needed to say in this particular situation. But what you're seeing is only the beginning. This ain't the ending. This is only the beginning, man. You're going to see more of these guys start to stand up. Look at 50 Cent. You know, he's talking about endorsing Trump. That's a big no-no. But again, a lot of these guys don't care about getting canceled. I mean, if you're a multi-millionaire like Ice Cube or some of these other guys, they don't like Kanye say he's too rich for you to cancel him. He has too big of a fan base to cancel. If these guys know they have big fan bases and you know they have resources, you can't cancel them. You can't cancel them. Shout out to everybody, the new subscribers. Salute to the new subscribers. Y'all can always expect content like this. Always. I'm always putting together great content for the supporters, the chat, the people that watch, the fam. You know what's crazy? Sandy B says, love you too, Sandy B. Yeah, there are people that don't like what I'm saying. It always be the same people that come to my videos, thumbsing it down, hurt, emotional, upset, angry. Because they don't like the fact that I'm saying what I'm saying. Because if it was lies, then they would ignore it. Oh, he's just lying. But when you're speaking truth they can't handle, they get in their feelings, they get in their emotions, and they want to punch air. They want to make, you know, they want to type in all caps and make jokes because their life is a joke. If you believe in people like Jemele Hill, your life is a joke. If you want to seek power for black females only and you don't have the whole black community as a collective, you know, you're trying to help them as a collective, you're trying to help yourself, then you are clowns too. Black women have benefited from a lot, and they've done nothing to help anybody else but themselves, to enrich themselves. Not all, but the women that I've been talking about in this live stream, y'all know what I'm talking about. These perpetually single women that can't keep a black man. Like I did a video today about Taraji Henson and her relationship falling apart. And she's talking about she's dedicated to the black man because she knows the only type of men that's going to deal with her is black men. On that level of trying to marry her, she, you know, people may think twice. Maybe I'm wrong, but why would she say she dedicated to them only then? Because women know their options. They know what's out there for them, and they know how to virtue signal. You know, you're putting that out there because you believe that to be so. But I think women need to open their hearts and minds to the world and understand that it's bigger than them. You cannot have a black community if you're only focusing on black women, especially if you have black children, black sons, black daughters, because they have to grow up in this world too. So if you're only thinking about black women, then you're going to continue this divide and you continue this BS narrative about how black men aren't accomplishing anything. They aren't building anything. That's because you're setting them up for failure when you're constantly looking to enrich yourselves while depleting your community. That's why these foreigners can be in these communities and abuse you and disrespect you. Because you disrespect the men in your community every single day. You look for ways to better yourself instead of bettering the community as a whole. Now I know they're going to say, well, we shouldn't have to do that. But when you're talking to Ice Cube and he's telling you I'm trying to help everybody, and the first things that come to your mind is how is it going to benefit us as black women, then you're contributing to the problem. You're contributing to the problem. You have nobody but yourself to blame. You are in the situation that you're in because you put yourself in that situation. All right, folks, that's all I have to say. Salute to everybody that's here, man. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to the Basic Social Politics channel. I'm putting videos on over there. Go on over there and subscribe. Also, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to get notifications for when I go live. All right? And click notification bell on Twitter if you're over there. So y'all get notified so y'all don't miss nothing. So y'all can't say, well, Jane, you know, I missed some of your content. Well, I'm like, well, God damn it, you should have went and clicked the notification bell to the stream for the stream and videos. And salute to everybody that supports me over on Patreon monthly. I appreciate that. We still doing the podcast. I'm going to have a new podcast up either this week or next week. I got some good topics in mind. I may have another guest co-host on. I like doing that because, you know, I do these videos by myself, live streams. Why not have a co-host on the podcast, right? So I'm slowly growing that. Let's see, what else? Okay, this is a link to the Anchor podcast. Let me put that in the chat room so y'all can go and check those out. I got 11 of them already there. Okay. And yeah, man, I guess I will see y'all on the next one. Y'all have a very good rest of your night. And I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Y'all take care.